even though he spotted it, it's been a pretty successful drop, actually. Stopping mining entirely in the main base. Savior, I don't know, I guess he's going for, a combined arms drop. But Canata knows it's coming. He spotted it, and he's prepared. This could be bad for Savior. This could be disastrous. He is going to drop. Is he going to get enough down at this point? He does get Hydras on the tanks. Does he have enough? I don't know. This is going to be so close. Savior's dropping those Hydras. I think he's actually going to have enough, though. Wow, he is going to have enough. Barely. No, it's going to be close. I don't know. I mean, I would say this drop was a success even if he doesn't kill off anything more. Yeah, he has enough to kill off the forces. This is definitely a successful drop. Terran armies obviously are much more difficult to replace. Savior loses all of its units, though, on the other hand, so it was a close one. I'm not sure. I don't know what his main looks like either. Hopefully he's dealt with those 2 vultures. Oh, Savior getting harassed on the left. New base going up there. Savior doesn't have a lot of drones in his main. Not very good saturation at any of his bases. And Savior, well, I mean, the thing is, usually it is the case where the Terran takes longer and it's more hard for the Terran to replace their armies. But if Savior has been harassed sufficiently, then Canata could still have won that battle in the sense that he'll be ahead right now. We're going to have to see, though. I don't know exactly what the economic situation is. Savior at 3 base and Canata at 2, of course, but Canata has not been really harassed. Savior has been harassed. Savior now going for another drop. I don't know. This could be interesting to watch. Certainly that was a very well coordinated attack. I love that attack, in fact. And it came close to breaking everything, which would have swung the game, obviously, because Savior would have been able to start killing buildings and SCVs. But it was just barely enough. There was just barely enough Terran units there. Savior does not know about the natural expansion being so exposed, or perhaps he would just attack there, because it is very vulnerable right now. I don't think there's anything there. Savior with +1 armor, by the way, for air. If you want to go air, I guess, for a longer game against Mac, you do need that. And Savior now is spotting a lot of vultures moving south. I mean, the vultures have been moderately successful, mainly at just forcing Savior to move from place to place around the map. The drops have been more successful, of course. I think Savior would be well off, actually, and most Zergs actually would be well off putting like 1 sunken colony near each base, like especially their main base, because then vulture harassments really won't do much afterward, and it's really just completely worth it. So Savior is going to pick off these vultures. Once again, like I said, not forcing Savior to lose much, but forcing him to run around with the units. Canata pushing out here. I think he has 1-1. Savior's still at still at lair level. I do wonder when he's going to try to advance tech, because he really cannot stay at this level of tech forever. In fact, he probably couldn't even stay. He shouldn't stay in this for more than like 1 more minute. He should be immediately thinking about getting to that crackling ultra defiler combination, because it's just so much better against this heavy metal build, especially the defiler crackling combo. So effective. But Savior right now is stuck a little bit on defensive or maybe offensive mode. I guess like Savior wants to finish off Canata, but this is going to be risky. The longer he takes on this tech level with like Mutalisks, I mean, the less it's going to be effective. And Savior right now spots a lot of missile turrets going up. This is a smart move for Canata. I mean, he's definitely got a lot of minerals. Savior dropping just 3 Hydralisks on the back, mainly just to harass a little bit. Savior actually creating a distraction. I think that was his main goal, to try to draw units to the back of the base, and now he's going to go for a big attack at the natural expansion. But look at this, Canata totally ready for this. I mean, the Terran bases aren't that spread out. I mean, that's just not going to work. Canata is not going to fall for that. I mean, he's not going to move all of his Goliaths, even if, Savior dropped more units, theoretically. The Terran has a lot of Goliaths at this point. Savior still is just building mutas. Not so much in the way of Valkyries, though. That's obviously good for Savior because there's no area effect. On the other hand, Canata has taken his 3rd base now with almost no harassment. Savior barely at 4, and Canata, I'd say, is ahead at this point. So I do worry about Savior here and his plan. Does he have enough in the way of air? Especially against those upgraded Goliaths. I mean, +2 upgrades, +1 armor here. It's going to be really close. And Savior, yeah, just building Mutalisks. Is it going to be enough? I really don't know. I can't tell. I haven't gotten a good count of how many he has. And it's also going to come down to where he fights. And if he can split up the Goliath army at all, that would come obviously in his favor. Saber sacking a Overlord there to take a look at what's going on. +2 armor for those Goliaths, man. That is going to be painful. Saber's mutas are going to deal so little damage to them. They have base 1 armor, and that is going to be bad for the mutas, man. This is going to be close, and this could be disastrous. In fact, I'm almost afraid to watch this in terms of seeing what Savior can do, man. I don't know. Can he do this? He is going to go into the natural once again, venturing forth here, killing some turrets, but the Goliaths chase him away. Savior has +2 armor now for his air units. This is a very, very close fight. Oh, man! What was that? A drop? That was a Vulture drop or just a run-in or something, but it kills off 5 drones again. Nice work there by Canata. Canata right now building more turrets up as natural. He is mining out, which is going to benefit Savior because he's mining slower, of course, as the Zerg player. But he has to defend against this powerful metal army, and it's finally moving out. Savior might have to attack it head on, and that's the problem here. He won't be able to have a chance of dividing it in half. That's what he needs to do. He can't engage all those Goliaths. He simply can't. There's a couple of Valkyries there too, and right now Savior's in trouble. He needs to somehow be able to win this battle, but you know, or somehow force Canata back. Maybe that's what he's going to be able to do. We're going to have to see though. Savior right now, like I said, facing some a strong attack here on the left. Savior, what is he going to do? Is he going to go for the counter, or is he going to go for a defense? He is going to go for the counter. There are a ton of turrets, but Savior has a ton of mutilus, but he's pulling them back. I don't know if that was the best idea. He's engaging the Goliaths as they retreat backwards. I don't think this is the best spot to do it though, Savior. No, bad spot. No, I think he should have stayed at the natural expansion of Canata's, because he was going to be able to kill those turrets pretty quickly, and now Savior is in huge trouble. He's going to lose his left side without being able to do anything with his counterattack, and Savior has not switched tech, and this is possibly going to lead to his loss right now. He's going to be forced to. Oh, what are you doing, Savior? You got to engage them at some point, and you got to. Oh, man. I think Savior's going to lose this game. This is sad. This is a sad day for Savior fans, obviously. Savior right now is in big trouble. He's lost, yeah, he's on equal number of bases right now. And he has just Mutalisk, and just Mutalisk is not going to cut it against this many range upgraded Goliaths. I mean, simply, I think his best chance was attacking that natural expansion just now of possibly saving himself, but the moment he gave that up, it just stopped working. And Kanata's putting up his 4th base. I mean, Savior might be able to take it out, but so what? Kanata's at Savior's natural at this point, and yeah, this game is over, unfortunately, for, you know, I can see why Glazer didn't have the motivation to cast this anymore. Kind of a heartbreaking game for Savior, who just basically went for a strategy that is hard to make work if you can't do it initially. Basically, when you're committing so much to the mid-game, you're committing speed overlords and overlords drop, you're committing all those Hydras and mutas upgrades, you're kind of locked in the mid-game, I guess, and Savior's choice of staying in mid-game, you know, was kind of forced on him towards the end. He just had to make it happen with his mid-game build, and he couldn't, and I think this is going to be it for him in this MSL. So he does not advance. He will not advance to the same point where he got last MSL, unfortunately, which was the round of 8, actually, managing to get all the way there before losing. This time he probably, well, he definitely will get eliminated now in the round 32. Good game by Canata. He played it very, very cautiously, and yet he definitely played it, you know, carefully and just, you know, well done, basically. You know, there was no real mistakes in his gameplay, and that is certainly good enough. You know, I mean, he basically just spoke Goliaths, and Savior did not have an answer for them, and he also dealt with the drops pretty well, I'd say. Smart work by Canata, building up his bases, forcing Savior to be the one who makes the attacks, and Savior at this point is just staying on for pride's sake. Obviously, he has nothing left. He has killed off the Goliath army. He's gonna get the tanks inside of his main, but there's nothing left in the main. There's sunken colonies and a spawning pool, and Savior's one base on the lower left is it. So, I mean, as much as she prays, there's no way for the Savior to save anybody today. I mean, you know, even though no, there's no way for Canata to lose. I mean, Savior cannot engage the second wave here. If Savior had 2 more bases, sure, there'd be a chance, but Savior is at 1 meager base with no tech left. So Canata certainly, you know, I would say he played a good game, actually. He definitely played it safe. You know, some of you guys might complain that he did mainly just turtling with some light harassment, but certainly that's not a bad way to play. And there was the GG. So, Savior fans, unfortunately for you, you are not going to see Savior go through. Canata, though, certainly a good player and one that, you know, perhaps deserves a little more fame, because at one point he was considered very good and very promising, and then perhaps he'll be thought of again like that if he gets far in the Star Leagues. He's also in the round 16, by the way, of the OSL, which I probably will be doing some solo casts of pretty soon. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the end of this series. Sorry for all you Savior fans once again, but you know, certainly enjoyable games, and hopefully Majiyun will regroup, as he sometimes does, not always does, and you know, make another video promising his fans that he'll do better in the future, and then perhaps do better for a few weeks. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Kind of depressing end, but hope you enjoyed anyway. GG's.